Hello everybody. So today I'm going to show you live how to build a campaign calendar that actually converts for July 2025. I'm Dan, and over the past few years I've helped e-commerce brands scale from $31,000 to over $311,000 in email revenue without spamming discounts or guesswork. And this is per month as well. So I'm going to show you today the exact process that we use inside our agency to plan campaigns that grow sales consistently week after week. And the best part, you can use the same blueprint for your own brand. So let's dive in. First of all, why can you trust me? Here I have some before and afters of working with us here at Hayes. This is the brand I just mentioned, 31,000 to 311,000 in revenue. And then another brand, which was just flows only. We have scaled from 120,000 to over 681,000. Some more insights here. Here we have a $265,000 worth of attributed revenue only from the month this year, April 2023 to May 2023. 10x email revenue, again, 31,000. Like I mentioned, this one is a 10x. This one here from Flows Only is incredible. And it's all done through our main strategy, which you can find in the Klaviyo strategy course, which we've uploaded. That was actually the first video we've ever done. One diving into today, which is a little bit deeper, which is going to be our campaign calendar. So to begin with, let's just recap something very quickly. So here at Hayes, we use the campaign. Here we go. This is an example of campaign performance for a month, $265,000 just from campaign revenue. Anyway, I think that's enough proof. Let's get into the strategy. So first of all, okay, why should we always have a campaign calendar? So without a plan, and as you know this, without a plan, there's no direction. You can either really just be spamming your list. Some brands I've seen will just not have a campaign calendar. They'll just be basically spamming them with promotions. Some brands only email during promotions and just go silent for weeks. And neither one of those methods will grow your revenue consistently. So a smart campaign calendar is what keeps you on top of mind with your subscribers. It's what trains them to open and click your emails. It builds trust and it generates revenue on autopilot. So today I'm going to show you how to build one that's actually profitable. And it all starts with this 80-20 method. This strategy is going to ensure that you don't send low value emails. Now, first of all, what is the 80-20 method? Just to kind of give you a recap, we did talk about this in another video that's called Build a Weekly Campaign Rhythm That Prints Revenue. But in this video, we're actually going to build out the calendar live. So you actually see how I build the calendar using this method. So what is the 80-20 method? Just a quick recap. So 80% of your emails per month are value-driven emails. 20% are going to be sales. That's because 20% of the sales is going to make up for the most of your campaign revenue. Okay, and 80% is there to drive engagement, to make sure people are opening and clicking your emails so that when you do sales emails, they're going to have maximum impact. So let's dive straight into a campaign calendar example. So this one's for July. We do all our campaigns in Notion because you can have this nice calendar template here, and it also allows you to create these blocks, which then if you open up, you can actually have a copy template. But you can use this literally in anything. You could have a Google Calendar, you could have a Asana board, you could have a Monday board. It could be anything that you guys use as long as it looks like a calendar like this, so you can see. Another suggestion that I suggest is each of your blocks that you have has the objective or the campaign type underneath it. So we actually use here at Hayes, we have 6 campaign types: sale, value, education, promotion, social proof, and interactive. Now, the main ones really, the 20% is sale and promotion, and then your 80% is the rest: value, education, social, interactive. And you can have as many of these as you want, right? You can make this more specific. Maybe instead of sale, you have a holiday sale, flash sale, something like that. And then for promotion, maybe you change that as well. But really, we just like to keep it general so we have a good top level view. Clients also like to see that as well. So just to start with, okay, how would I look at June? So first of all, what I would do is I would separate out everything into email and SMS. I know a lot of brands, they tend to do both. So some brands doing WhatsApp as well. But you want to make sure you have that in here as well alongside your emails and when you want to send them. So once I've identified, okay, great, I'm going to do email and SMS. That's when I want to pick out my key dates. So in July, what are the key dates? We have 4th of July sale, That's the main key date that I've got here. There may be some other dates as well, which are relevant for your brand. I know there's like Canada Day, I think, in July as well. But really, just to keep this kind of standard generic for USA clients and USA e-commerce businesses, we're going to have 4th of July sale. All right. And also, another key thing here is to lay out all of your sales. So we have 4th of July. That's one. And then I'm also having another offer at the end of the month, which is a free shipping or bog off or free gift offer. And this is going to be over a course of 3 days. So this could be classed as like a flash sale, something that's super quick. What I tend to like to do for the 20% each month is have one big main sale, i.e. this is the 4th of July sale, and then the second will be a flash sale, and that could be either mid-month or toward the end of the month. That sort of works around your main sale. You don't want to do a main sale here at the beginning of the month and then straight after have a flash sale, right? Unless it makes sense to do that. Maybe Black Friday, something like that. But really, like for example, in July, we don't want to be spanning our list full of sales in July, but we do want to maximize and send emails around the big key dates. 4th of July here, I started on the 26th of June. Some brands will start this earlier or later. It depends on yours. I mean, I know some brands will start this even next week, starting the 15th. It seems each holiday gets sooner and sooner each year. But just remember, if you're doing it, the sooner you do it, the risk more that you kind of run into the risk that you're going to burn out the offer and your list. So you have to be aware of this. Okay. And if you're running on 1 month long sale, you're going to run into a risk where it's just, you're going to have add an offer and creative fatigue very quickly. So that's just something to bear in mind. So I've started here on the 26th. We end it on the 6th. I'd say this is quite a long sale. I'm taking into account this is a brand that 4th of July is a big sale event for them. So that's why we're doing it longer. But if it's not so big, maybe you only run it for like 3 or 4 days. Okay. So what I've done here is I've added, I created the blocks on the days that I want to send out. We have the launch email going out on the 26th. And what I tend to do is I'll put, you can see I've done it here actually, an email example. So once I've picked out my key dates, so what I'll do is I'll come to a website like Milled and I will find emails based on what I want. So 4th of July, okay? And you can search here and it'll give you lots of examples of what other brands are doing. You can also search other brands and you can pick the dates. So say, for example, I want to pick, let's just go for Death Wish Coffee. So say I search by brand. To actually search per date ranges, so what you can do if you choose a brand like Death Wish Coffee, we can come here and if you have the pro version, you can actually pick the dates. So here you can actually say Independence Day, you can say 2024 or 2023, and you can actually see the emails from that brand at that time. So you can get inspiration. So if there's like your competitors, for example, this is one thing I would do. I would look at my competitors and see what they did over the last few years for that date. And just take inspiration from it, right? The style of email. Now, the offer and everything is different, but the style of email is something that I use Milled for. I don't use it for offer creation. It is purely just to get an idea of the creative. Once I have an email that I like, so say I like this email, what I do is I would screenshot this email, and you can do that by downloading this application called Go Full Page. So once I find an email that I like, I'd click on here and I would screenshot it using Go Full Page, and this will screen capture the whole email. And then what you can do is you can drag this email into your Notion block like this and use it as inspiration. And I wouldn't put it as a comment. So now I have like an email template, which then I can brief my copywriter on, brief the designer on to have a look at. And it's basically, this is how I'd write the copy afterwards. So I'd have a look at a template that I like, and then that's how I would then go about writing the copy based on the template that I like. And what I've done is I've done this for every single block. So after 4th of July, each block I put email examples in. So let's backtrack a little bit. So we've got the emails for 4th of July. I've gone in, I found out all the inspiration, all the emails that I like. And then now what I'm doing is I am planning the rest of the month. So let's just recap very briefly. We've put in our key dates, when we want to start the sales, when we want to end them. And then after that, I've gone in and I've looked for email examples using mill.com. You can also use mailcharts.com to find good templates to base your copy and your emails off of. They're the two key processes, okay? Then after that, I would go about filling the rest of the calendar based on some value content emails. And we talked about this previously as well, where we have the value first emails and then things like problem solution soft sales. And here's an example. So 20%, we've got our sales, we've got our exclusive offers, we've done this for 4th of July. Then the 80%, what is the rest of the calendar going to look like? How are we going to fill it out? We got tip of the weeks, behind the scenes, project education, collection guides, even new drop teasers. And I've slotted that into the content calendar that makes sense. So here we've got 4th of July, massive sale, asking, hey, buy. What am I going to do after such a big sale? I'm going to give back, right? Here we have a giveaway, okay? And you can be very smart with giveaways. I'm going to do a whole video on a really good giveaway strategy that works for us, because you can run giveaways without really like losing, without where it seems that you're actually giving away a lot, but in return receiving a lot as well. And we do it in terms of free marketing. And the great way to do that is through social media like Instagram or TikTok, where you get people to engage with a post and tag their friends. And that way you have like massive reach in a short period of time for free, basically. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to buy all those impressions that you pay for via ads. And it works very well. So something I'll do a whole different video on, but I want brands to understand. I want you guys to understand as well, brand owners. It's a good thing to do a giveaway, even after a sale, and you're not going to lose money. All right, because you give away one item and in return you get free advertising, and that's a way to look at it. Give away $250 for say a few $1,000s in return of advertising. Would you do that? You probably would. So again, I'll talk about it in a different video, but I've slotted it in here. So we have giveaway coming straight after the sale. Strategy behind that is to improve engagement. As sales go on, the engagement tends to dip, bumping it back up again and showing the email list that, hey, we're not spamming you with just discounts and 4th of July emails. Then after that, we go into, so we've got value promotion that's underneath. Then we go into education content for the following week. Here I've got everything you need to know about certain products, FAQs. Here I've got common myths. So if you're a skincare brand or a food brand, you can go into like common myths about your food or about your product. Really good engagement. Here we have a founder's note. So it's a personal kind of letter that you could say comes from the founder. Again, it's really good way for like to come across quite personal. And again, you're not just trying to sell them stuff, especially if it's like signed off by the founder and it's quite personal. It tells a bit of a story. This is really good to do. Following week, we switch it up a little bit. So we still got value education, but then we're going to go into a little bit soft selling with some social proof and some interactive emails. So here we have summer picks. Again, it's kind of a promotional email soft sell because we're picking out our summer favorites and then we're showcasing it in the email of why this is good for summer. But here we've got summer essentials, and also here is again summer picks, living life in summer colors. I believe this one is out for June, so it's out during LGBTQ month. After this, summer picks, we're going to have customer stories. Again, social proof email where we just feature our best testimonials about different products. So here we've got office gossip, the Then I Met You team's go to summer skincare favorites. And then it's just reviews about the summer products. Another one here is thanks for all the love. Again, UGC content's great here. So if you have a UGC image of your customer or their product holding the product, even their face in it, this is great. And then you just have the testimonial next to it. Then we have an interactive email. Now, I don't see many brands doing these, and they're great for click-throughs. Like the great way to get your click-through rates 2x, 3x literally from one email. Follow this up after with a flash sale and just watch the engagement skyrocket. So what is an interactive email? Basically, it asks a question and it gets people to click the answer. It's very simple. So in this case, it's the one example is we're releasing a new product. Can you guess the collection name? They click it or they reply. Again, replies are great for deliverability. You can't measure it. That's the only thing. But if you get people to reply and loads of those replies come in, it's an amazing way to hit top of the inbox, including your primary tab. And here is like a kind of a Tinder approach. It's a match, find your match, and then it's just like a text thread. So you want to make it interactive. It needs to feel like, hey, like you can interact with this email rather than just pushing a message across. So the final week of July, we're leading into promotion. The last one we want to do is we want to basically touch on and talk about any objections or problems that our customers have. So here we're going to be very relevant to like a problem they're facing right now and how our brand is supporting it. Okay. And it could also be just straight up like our product solves it. Okay. That's even better. But if it doesn't, and you just want to talk about something relevant that your customers may be thinking about now, like a problem they have, like in these cases, we're going out on Monday, right? So we could use that to our advantage. Okay. Like nobody really likes Mondays. You know why? Because you've had the weekend to chill and then you have to go back to work, and Monday's where life starts again, right? So it's like, oh, life kind of thing. And you can talk about that in an email. You can touch on it and you can sort of slightly hint how your product makes Mondays better. Right. For example, if you're in this case a skincare brand, you can say like something around like, here we go, deep hydration, smooth fine lines, like don't let Monday blues get you down. We've got deep hydrating moisturizer to make you look your best to start the week. Starting the week feeling confident, you're going to end the week on a great note type thing. Start as you mean to go on and talk about these things. Relevancy and timing is so important in emails. I don't see brands doing it enough. I really don't see brands pushing holidays like no tomorrow, but something as simple as just calling out the day of the week in your email is very, very, very effective. Here we have basically around like caffeine boost stress buster. This is a matcha latte. Again, sending this out on a Monday, you could say, for example, like, you're gonna have your coffee in the morning, but did you know there's something better to start your Monday mornings? Great opens, great clicks. Now, again, like I mentioned, we want to have 2 sales per month, one big one and one smaller one. And here I've gone to end the month. We've got free shipping or a boat bug off or just a free gift. Some email examples here that we can base it off of. I really like this one. Countdown timer, free flat iron with X purchase. We've got free shipping here, another great one. Place an order of X and you get the free shipping. And spend more, save more. Good one to increase AOV. Spend X, take X off. These are all worth testing. Now, good thing about these 3-day holidays is this is offer testing in its finest, and you can start to find out new offers that work with your list, and then you can try them out on bigger sales. Things like free shipping, it doesn't affect margins too much perhaps for your brand, especially if it's a spend over X amount. Maybe you try that as a Cyber Monday offer instead of like an extra 55% off. You'll be surprised how much it works, and all this is data that you're gathering to then apply to the bigger sales during Q4. So let's recap. Well, first of all, just to prove that this works, this is one of our brands doing 265,000 per month, steady income, and this is just from campaigns, right? And campaigns do not make up most of the revenue ever really for our clients. Most of the time it's flows. Campaigns are just additional revenue. And so if you have a campaign calendar ready with everything planned that is going to convert, then essentially you're for a winner. You're only going to get more money coming in, and every email makes money. So it's a plus. So let's recap. Use the 80-20 rule, this one here. Mix value on the left versus 20 on the right, the sales, and fill it out week by week. Okay. So week by week, so you never miss a revenue opportunity. And if you want to see a live demo of how we scaled brands from 31,000 to 311,000, from over 100,000 to 600,000. I've got some brands which I can't show just because of NDA, but we've scaled them even past the million mark as well per month. But if you want to get deeper on topics like this, subscribe now and we'll post more videos, and book a DTC growth call with Jordan. Right now, the first 20 people that book get an exclusive anti-promotions tab code free. That means all your emails landing in the primary tab for free. I know some people are charging thousands and thousands of dollars for that code, and we're giving it away for free. Let's make July 2025 your best month yet. Go build that calendar. See you soon.